8 hidden habits weakening you, and how Stoicism can fix them. Life, as we all know, is not a straight line. It's a winding road, a turbulent sea, a breathtaking mountain range. It's a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, triumph and setback, connection and solitude. It's a constant dance between our aspirations and our limitations, a perpetual negotiation between who we are and who we yearn to become. We are, in essence, works in progress. And within this grand, chaotic, beautiful project of self-cultivation, we often find ourselves unknowingly sabotaged by subtle yet pervasive habits that erode our inner strength, diminish our resilience, and ultimately prevent us from living a life of purpose and profound peace. Have you ever wondered why, despite your best intentions, you consistently fall short of your goals? Why the specter of anxiety seems to perpetually linger, casting a shadow over your days? Why the pursuit of happiness often feels like chasing a mirage, forever just out of reach? The answer, more often than not, lies not in external circumstances, but within. It resides in the unconscious patterns we've developed, the insidious habits that subtly undermine our potential. Think of it this way. Imagine you're a gardener tending a beautiful, promising plant. You water it, provide sunlight, and ensure it has fertile soil. But what if you also unknowingly allowed weeds to grow around it, slowly sapping its nutrients and hindering its growth? These weeds are like the weakening habits we're talking about. They might seem insignificant at first, but over time, they can suffocate our spirit and prevent us from blooming into our full potential. This video is your guide to identifying and eradicating those weeds. We're going to delve into 8 common habits that subtly erode your strength and resilience. But more importantly, we're not just going to point out the problems. We're going to offer solutions. We'll be drawing upon the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy that provides practical tools for navigating the complexities of modern life with grace, courage, and unwavering inner peace. Stoicism, founded in the early 3rd century BC by Zeno of Citium, offers a radical yet profoundly simple approach to living well. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our character, and to accept with equanimity what we cannot, external events, the opinions of others, the inevitable challenges that life throws our way. It's a philosophy of empowerment, reminding us that our happiness and fulfillment are not contingent on external circumstances, but rather on the cultivation of virtue within. As we embark on this journey of self-discovery and transformation, remember this: awareness is the first step. By acknowledging these weakening habits within ourselves, we can begin the process of dismantling them and replacing them with principles that will empower us to live a life of strength, purpose, and lasting inner peace. So, prepare to look inwards, to challenge your assumptions, and to embrace the transformative power of Stoic wisdom. Let's begin. Habit 1: procrastination. Okay, the first habit we're tackling is one that plagues so many of us: procrastination. We've all been there, staring at a daunting task, feeling a sense of dread creep in, and suddenly finding ourselves inexplicably drawn to, well, anything else. Whether it's scrolling through social media, cleaning the house, even that dreaded chore becomes appealing. Or endlessly researching the perfect strategy without ever actually starting, procrastination is a master of disguise, subtly stealing our time and energy. The original video highlighted the Stoic remedy for procrastination, drawing on the concept of carpe diem, seizing the day, but not in a reckless, hedonistic way. Instead, it's about focusing on the present moment and making the most of it. The video correctly identified that procrastination stems from anxiety, fear of failure, fear of the unknown, or simply the discomfort of the task itself. We get caught up worrying about the future or dwelling on past mistakes, rather than taking action in the present. Stoicism offers a powerful counterpoint to this anxiety-driven paralysis. It teaches us to focus on what is within our control. We can't control the outcome of our efforts, the opinions of others, or the unforeseen challenges that may arise. but we can control our effort, our attitude, and our commitment to the process. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, wisely advised us to concentrate on what is in our power and to let go of what is not. This principle directly addresses the root cause of procrastination. Instead of fixating on the potential difficulties or the uncertain results of a task, Stoicism encourages us to shift our focus to the process itself. Break down large, overwhelming goals into smaller, manageable steps. Focus on completing just one step at a time, without worrying about the overall outcome. This allows us to feel a sense of accomplishment and momentum, which in turn fuels our motivation to continue. Think of it like building a wall. You don't start by trying to visualize the entire finished structure. You focus on laying one brick perfectly, then the next and the next. Eventually, brick by brick, you create a magnificent wall. The same principle applies to overcoming procrastination. Furthermore, Stoicism reminds us that time is a finite and precious resource. Every day we delay is a day lost forever. Consider the potential consequences of inaction. What opportunities will you miss? What goals will remain unfulfilled? What will be the cost of procrastination in the long run? Visualizing these consequences can provide the necessary motivation to overcome inertia and take action. To combat procrastination effectively, embrace the Stoic principles of focusing on the present, breaking down tasks, accepting discomfort, and valuing your time. Remember that action, even imperfect action, is always better than inaction. Start small, stay focused, and trust in the process. You'll be surprised at how much you can accomplish when you break free from the chains of procrastination. Habit 2. Negative self-talk. The second weakening habit we're tackling is negative self-talk. This is that insidious inner critic, the voice in your head that whispers doubts, amplifies flaws, and constantly reminds you of your perceived inadequacies. It's the voice that tells you you're not good enough, you're going to fail, you're not worthy of success. This relentless barrage of negativity can erode your self-esteem, cripple your confidence, and ultimately prevent you from reaching your full potential. The original video rightfully quoted Marcus Aurelius, stating that our lives are shaped by our thoughts. This is a fundamental tenet of Stoicism. What we believe about ourselves, our abilities, and the world around us directly influences our actions and our experiences. If we constantly bombard ourselves with negative thoughts, we create a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure and unhappiness. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this toxic self-talk, the practice of rational thinking. Stoics believed that our emotions are not inherent qualities, but rather judgments and interpretations of events. In other words, it's not the situation itself that causes us distress, but our perception of the situation. Therefore, by challenging and reframing our negative thoughts, we can change our emotional responses. When you find yourself caught in a cycle of negative self-talk, the first step is to become aware of it. Pay attention to the voice in your head. What is it saying? What are the underlying assumptions and beliefs that are fueling this negativity? Once you've identified the negative thoughts, challenge their validity. Are they based on facts or assumptions? Are they fair and reasonable? Are they serving you in any way? Often, negative self-talk is based on cognitive distortions, irrational patterns of thinking that distort reality. For example, all-or-nothing thinking is the tendency to see things in black and white, with no shades of gray. If you make a mistake, you might tell yourself, "I'm a complete failure." This is an exaggeration and an unfair judgment. Instead, try to reframe the thought. I made a mistake, but everyone makes mistakes. I can learn from this and do better next time. Another common cognitive distortion is catastrophizing, which is the tendency to imagine the worst possible outcome in any situation. If you're about to give a presentation, you might tell yourself, "I'm going to freeze up, forget everything, and everyone will laugh at me." Instead, challenge this thought. What's the worst that could actually happen? Even if I make a few mistakes, it's not the end of the world. I can prepare well, practice, and do my best. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and forgiveness that you would offer to a friend in a similar situation. We are all imperfect beings, prone to mistakes and flaws. Instead of beating yourself up for your shortcomings, acknowledge them with compassion and focus on learning and growing from your experiences. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations. Create a list of positive statements about yourself, your abilities, and your potential. Repeat these affirmations to yourself regularly, especially when you're feeling down or discouraged. While affirmations alone are not a magic bullet, they can help to shift your mindset and cultivate a more positive self-image. Combating negative self-talk is an ongoing process, but with consistent effort and the application of Stoic principles, you can gradually silence your inner critic and cultivate a more confident, resilient, and self-compassionate mindset. Habit 3. Avoiding challenges. The third habit that can significantly weaken us is the tendency to avoid challenges. It's natural to gravitate towards comfort and security, to seek out situations where we feel competent and in control. However, constantly staying within our comfort zone can limit our growth, stifle our potential, and ultimately lead to a life of stagnation and unfulfilled dreams. The video touched upon Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, stating that our life is what our thoughts make it. The more we think that we can't handle things, the less likely we are to try them. Stoicism recognizes the allure of comfort, but emphasizes the importance of embracing discomfort as a catalyst for growth. Epictetus, in particular, argued that virtue is developed through facing adversity, not avoiding it. He famously said, "Difficulties show men what they are." When we shy away from challenges, we deprive ourselves of the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to discover our own hidden strengths. The Stoics believe that true strength lies not in the absence of fear, but in the ability to act in spite of fear. Courage is not the absence of apprehension, but the willingness to confront it head-on. When we consistently avoid challenges, we reinforce our fears and create a vicious cycle of avoidance. Each time we back down from a challenge, we weaken our resolve and make it more difficult to face future obstacles. The Stoic approach to challenges involves reframing our perspective. Instead of viewing challenges as threats to be avoided, we should see them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Consider the potential benefits of facing a challenge, even if it's uncomfortable or risky. What skills will you develop? What knowledge will you gain? How will you grow as a person? Start by identifying small challenges that you've been avoiding. Perhaps it's striking up a conversation with a stranger, taking on a new project at work, or trying a new hobby. Break down these challenges into smaller, more manageable steps. Focus on taking one step at a time without worrying about the overall outcome. Embrace the concept of voluntary discomfort. Actively seek out situations that push you outside of your comfort zone. This could involve things like taking cold showers, fasting occasionally, or deliberately putting yourself in unfamiliar social situations. These practices help to build resilience and cultivate a tolerance for discomfort, making it easier to face larger challenges in the future. Remember that failure is an inevitable part of the learning process. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. View failures as opportunities to learn and grow. Analyze your mistakes, identify what went wrong, and use that knowledge to improve your performance in the future. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes not from avoiding pain and suffering, but from living a virtuous life, which often requires facing challenges and overcoming adversity. By embracing challenges and pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones, we can unlock our full potential and live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Habit 4. Excessive attachment to material possessions. The fourth habit that subtly erodes our strength and peace of mind is an excessive attachment to material possessions. In today's consumer-driven society, it's easy to fall into the trap of equating happiness with acquiring more and more stuff. We're constantly bombarded with advertisements that tell us we need the latest gadgets, the trendiest clothes, and the biggest house to be happy and successful. The video highlights that Stoic philosophy emphasizes placing greater value on morality and inner qualities than external things. Stoicism offers a radical alternative to this materialistic mindset. The Stoics believed that true happiness is not found in external possessions, but in inner virtue. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, famously wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." The problem with attaching our happiness to material possessions is that they are inherently impermanent and beyond our control. They can be lost, stolen, damaged, or simply become obsolete. When our sense of worth and happiness is tied to these external things, we are constantly vulnerable to disappointment and anxiety. Furthermore, the pursuit of material wealth often leads to a cycle of dissatisfaction. We acquire something new, experience a brief surge of pleasure, and then quickly become accustomed to it. We then start craving the next new thing, perpetuating a never-ending cycle of wanting. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate a mindset of detachment from material possessions. This doesn't mean that we can't enjoy the things we have, but rather that we shouldn't become overly attached to them. We should appreciate them for what they are, but not allow them to define our sense of self-worth or happiness. Practice gratitude for what you already have. Take time each day to appreciate the simple things in your life: your health, your relationships, your home, the beauty of nature. By focusing on what you already have, you'll be less likely to crave more. Practice minimalism. Declutter your home and get rid of things you don't need or use. This can be a liberating experience, freeing you from the burden of owning too much stuff. Focus on cultivating inner virtues, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the qualities that truly matter in life, and they are independent of external circumstances. By investing in your inner development, you'll create a foundation of strength and resilience that cannot be taken away from you. Remember that true wealth lies not in what you own, but in who you are. By detaching ourselves from material possessions and focusing on cultivating inner virtue, we can find lasting happiness and fulfillment. Habit 5. Constantly seeking external validation. The fifth habit that can significantly weaken us is the constant need for external validation. This is the tendency to seek approval, praise, and recognition from others to feel good about ourselves. While it's natural to want to be liked and appreciated, relying on external validation for our self-worth can be a dangerous trap. The video touched upon that when we are constantly seeking approval from others, we lose our power. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate inner strength and independence. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes from within, not from the opinions of others. Epictetus famously said, "It is not things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about these things." In other words, it's not what others think of us that matters, but how we choose to interpret their opinions. The problem with seeking external validation is that it puts our happiness in the hands of others. We become dependent on their approval, praise, and recognition to feel good about ourselves. This can lead to a constant state of anxiety, as we worry about what others think of us and try to please them at all costs. Furthermore, external validation is often fleeting and unreliable. People's opinions change, and what is praised today may be criticized tomorrow. Relying on external validation for our self-worth is like building our house on sand. It's unstable and prone to collapse. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate a sense of inner self-worth that is independent of external opinions. This doesn't mean that we should ignore feedback from others, but rather that we shouldn't allow it to define our sense of self-worth. We should evaluate feedback objectively, learn from it, and use it to improve ourselves, but not let it dictate how we feel about ourselves. Practice self-acceptance. Accept yourself for who you are, flaws and all. Recognize that you are a unique and valuable individual, regardless of what others may think. Focus on living according to your own values. Identify your core values, the principles that are most important to you, and strive to live in accordance with them. When you are living a life that is aligned with your values, you'll feel a sense of integrity and self-respect that is independent of external validation. Practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions. especially when you're feeling the need for external validation. Ask yourself why you're seeking approval from others. What are you hoping to gain? Is this validation truly necessary? Remember that true happiness comes from within. By cultivating inner strength, self-acceptance, and a sense of purpose, we can free ourselves from the need for external validation and live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Habit 6. Inability to deal with negative emotions. The sixth weakening habit is the inability to effectively deal with negative emotions. Life inevitably brings challenges and setbacks, which can trigger a range of unpleasant emotions, such as anger, fear, sadness, and anxiety. While it's natural to experience these emotions, suppressing them, avoiding them, or allowing them to control our behavior can be detrimental to our mental and emotional well-being. The video touched on that Stoic philosophy teaches us about the importance of reasoning and not letting emotions drive our actions. Stoicism offers a powerful framework for managing negative emotions in a healthy and constructive way. The Stoics believe that emotions are not inherently bad, but rather judgments and interpretations of events. We have the power to choose how we respond to our emotions. The first step in managing negative emotions is to acknowledge them. Don't try to suppress or deny your feelings. Allow yourself to feel the emotion without judgment. Once you've acknowledged the emotion, try to understand its source. What triggered this emotion? What are the underlying thoughts and beliefs that are fueling it? Challenge the validity of your thoughts and beliefs. Are they based on facts or assumptions? Are they fair and reasonable? Are they serving you in any way? Reframe your perspective. Look at the situation from a different angle. Try to find the positive aspects of the situation, or at least the lessons that you can learn from it. Practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions in the present moment, without judgment. This can help you to become more aware of your emotional patterns and to respond to them in a more constructive way. Engage in activities that help you to regulate your emotions, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. Remember that negative emotions are a part of life. Don't expect to be happy all the time. The key is to learn how to manage your emotions in a healthy and constructive way so that they don't control your life. Habit 7. Dwelling on past mistakes. The seventh habit that significantly weakens us is dwelling on past mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It's an inevitable part of being human. However, constantly replaying past errors in our minds, feeling guilt and regret, can be incredibly detrimental to our mental and emotional well-being. It can lead to feelings of anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem, preventing us from moving forward and living in the present moment. The video highlights that Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on the present moment, accepting what has happened and learning from our mistakes instead of constantly dwelling on them. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this debilitating habit, the practice of acceptance and forgiveness. The Stoics believe that we cannot change the past, but we can control how we respond to it. We can choose to learn from our mistakes, forgive ourselves, and move forward with wisdom and resilience. Acceptance is the key to letting go of past mistakes. This doesn't mean that we condone our errors, but rather that we acknowledge them and accept that they happened. We cannot change the past, but we can change our attitude towards it. Forgiveness is also essential. Forgive yourself for your mistakes. Recognize that you are human and that you're going to make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and move on. Focus on the present moment. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only thing we can control is the present moment. Focus on living in the present and making the most of each day. Learn from your mistakes. Don't just dwell on your past errors. Analyze them, identify what went wrong, and use that knowledge to improve your performance in the future. Practice gratitude. Focus on the things that you are grateful for in your life. This can help you to shift your focus away from the past and towards the present. Remember that everyone makes mistakes. You are not alone. Don't let past mistakes define you. Learn from them, forgive yourself, and move forward with confidence. Habit 8. Neglecting the well-being of others. The eighth and final habit that can significantly weaken us is neglecting the well-being of others. In today's individualistic society, It's easy to become focused on our own needs and desires, forgetting that we are all interconnected and that our actions have an impact on those around us. The video highlights that Stoic philosophy teaches us to consider all individuals worthy of respect and compassion. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of social responsibility and contributing to the common good. The Stoics believe that we have a duty to care for others and to promote justice and fairness in the world. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "What is bad for the hive is bad for the bee." In other words, what harms society ultimately harms us as individuals. Neglecting the well-being of others can lead to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and meaninglessness. When we're only focused on our own needs, we miss out on the opportunity to connect with others, to make a positive impact on the world, and to experience the joy of giving. Furthermore, neglecting the well-being of others can create a negative ripple effect in society. When we are indifferent to the suffering of others, we contribute to a culture of apathy and selfishness. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate empathy, compassion, and a sense of social responsibility. Seek out opportunities to help others, to volunteer in your community, and to advocate for social justice. Practice kindness and generosity. Small acts of kindness can make a big difference in someone's life. Be mindful of your words and actions. Speak and act in a way that is respectful and considerate of others. Advocate for those who are less fortunate. Use your voice to speak out against injustice and inequality. Remember that we are all interconnected and that our actions have an impact on the world around us. By caring for others and contributing to the common good, we can create a more just, compassionate, and fulfilling society for all. So, there you have it. 8 subtle yet pervasive habits that can weaken your inner strength and prevent you from living a life of purpose and peace. But more importantly, you now have the tools to overcome these habits, thanks to the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Remember that transforming weakness into strength is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, practice the Stoic principles consistently, and celebrate your progress along the way. Focus on what you can control, accept what you cannot, and strive to live a life of virtue, resilience, and inner peace. By applying Stoic thinking, all the above habits can be replaced with a life of courage and peace. Remember, the journey towards wisdom and inner peace is a continuous process. Embrace the teachings of Stoicism and take consistent steps towards living a more virtuous, meaningful, and fulfilling life. Thank you for watching this video. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please like it and share it with others who might benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We hope you continue to follow us and learn and grow along with us.